The email notification flashed on my screen, and my heart skipped a beat. It was from Tech Innovators Weekly, the subject line reading, Feature on Carter AI, a $4 billion visionary empire. My fingers hovered over the mouse as I clicked to open it, the weight of what this meant settling heavily on my shoulders. In 2 days, this article would go live, unraveling the carefully maintained illusion I had sustained for over a decade. The invitation to the annual Carter family reunion sat on my desk, its gold-embossed lettering catching the morning light filtering through the window of my modest apartment. The irony wasn't lost on me. For years, I had played the part of the struggling tech enthusiast, the black sheep who had dared to turn away from the family's revered paths of medicine and law. Now, there was no turning back. The truth was about to be broadcasted to the world and, more importantly, to my family. My phone buzzed insistently on the table, jolting me from my thoughts. It was Jessica, my older sister. Her voice was tense, barely masking the incredulity. "Alex, I just got off the phone with Daniel. He says there's some article coming out about you being some tech mogul. What's going on?" I took a deep breath, trying to keep my voice steady. "Hey, Jess. Yeah, it's true. The article is about my company, Carter AI." "Your company?" she echoed, disbelief evident. "I thought you were barely scraping by with your freelance projects. Mom and Dad are going to flip." I couldn't help but chuckle at the mental image of my parents' reactions. "I guess they'll have to wait for the article like everyone else," I replied, the weight of my secret finally beginning to lift. "Alex, this is huge," Jessica continued, her tone shifting from shock to something resembling awe. "Why didn't you tell us? Why keep it a secret?" "Because I needed to do this on my own terms," I explained. Every family dinner, every gathering, it was always about Jessica the lawyer or Daniel the doctor. There was never room for Alex the techie. Jessica was silent for a moment, and I imagined her mind racing to process this revelation. "So, what happens now? I mean, the reunion." I smiled, feeling a surge of anticipation. "I have something planned for the reunion. Let's just say it's going to be unforgettable." The call ended, and I turned my attention back to the invitation. The reunion was set to take place in a couple of days, and I had arranged for it to be held at a luxury tech retreat zone of my many hidden accomplishments. It was time for my family to see me, the real me, beyond the facade I had worn like a protective armor for so long. As I prepared for the big reveal, my thoughts drifted back to the moment it all began. The family dinner, where my father's booming voice declared, "Technology is just a hobby, Alex. It's not a real career." My siblings exchanged glances, their paths clearly defined and approved by our parents. But I had seen a different path, one where innovation could redefine industries and challenge the status quo. I moved into a small apartment, let them believe I was struggling, while in reality, I was laying the groundwork for a tech empire that would revolutionize artificial intelligence. Now, as the moment of truth approached, I felt a mix of anxiety and excitement. The article would be the catalyst, but the reunion would be the stage where I'd step into the spotlight and reveal the full extent of my achievements. My family, who had always seen me as the dreamer, would finally understand the depth of my vision and the heights I had reached. With the clock ticking down to the reunion, I felt ready to face whatever reactions came my way. It was time to take control of the narrative, to show them that success could take many forms, and that sometimes the path less traveled led to the most extraordinary destinations. The article's impending release hung over me like a storm cloud, promising to upend the delicate balance I had maintained for years. My family had always been a source of both support and pressure, their expectations a constant reminder of the paths I hadn't chosen. My parents, staunch believers in traditional success, had always envisioned their children in prestigious careers. For Jessica, the path of law had been a natural fit, while Daniel's steady climb through medical school had been a point of pride. My choice to dive into tech had always been the outlier, the gamble they never understood. It was this dynamic that had shaped the facade I had so carefully maintained. At family gatherings, I played the part of the struggling tech enthusiast, the sibling who was still finding his way. I drove an ancient sedan and wore thrift store finds, all to reinforce the image of a dreamer barely scraping by. It was easier to let them believe I was struggling than to confront their disbelief in my chosen path. The phone call started early, the first from Daniel. His voice was a mix of incredulity and curiosity. "Alex, I just got an alert about some article. Something about Carter AI and a huge valuation. What's going on?" "Morning, Dan," I replied, keeping my tone light. "Yeah, it's true. The article's going live tomorrow. It's about my company." "Your company?" he repeated, the skepticism clear. "You mean the little projects you've been working on?" I chuckled, imagining his expression. "Not so little anymore," I said. "Carter AI has been doing pretty well. The article will give you all the details." Daniel was silent, processing the revelation. "Why didn't you tell us? All these years, you let us think you were barely getting by." "Because I needed to do it my way," I explained. Every family gathering was about Jessica the lawyer and Daniel the doctor. I wanted to prove that my path was just as valid. His response was a mix of surprise and grudging respect. "Well, I guess you've done that. What about Mom and Dad? They're going to be shocked." I paused, considering his words. "Yeah, they will be. But I think it's time they see the real me." After I hung up, I reflected on the years of deception, the weight of the secret I had carried. It hadn't been easy, but it had been necessary. My parents had always valued stability and tradition, their notions of success rooted in the past. They had never understood the potential of technology, the transformative power of innovation, but I had seen it, and I had pursued it with everything I had. As the reunion approached, I felt a mix of anxiety and anticipation. The tech retreat I had arranged was more than just a venue. It was time for my family to see the results of my hard work, to understand that success could take many forms. I thought back to the early days, the long hours spent developing AI algorithms, the late nights coding in my cramped apartment. I had sacrificed comfort for a vision, investing every penny back into my company. The facade of struggle had been a necessary shield, but now it was time to step into the light. With the article set to publish and the reunion just days away, I felt a sense of liberation. My family had always seen me as the dreamer, the one who refused to conform. But soon, they would see the truth. They would see that my path, though unconventional, had led to extraordinary success. As I prepared for the big reveal, I felt ready to face whatever reactions came my way. It was time to rewrite the narrative, to show them that the future I had envisioned was not only possible but already unfolding. The countdown to the reunion had begun, and with it, the promise of a new beginning. The morning of the family reunion arrived with a sense of anticipation and trepidation. As I stood in front of the mirror, adjusting my tie, the reality of what was about to unfold hit me with full force. Today was the day my family would see the real Alex Carter, the tech entrepreneur who had built a billion-dollar empire under the guise of a dreamer. The drive to the tech retreat was surreal. My heart raced as I thought about the conversations that lay ahead. The retreat was one of my company's lesser-known projects, a luxury facility equipped with cutting-edge technology designed to inspire creativity and innovation. It was the perfect setting for the revelation that would redefine my family's perception of me. As I arrived, the staff greeted me with warm smiles, aware of the significance of the day. The retreat, nestled amidst sprawling greenery and state-of-the-art architecture, exuded an air of futuristic elegance. It was a testament to what I had achieved, a physical manifestation of years of hard work and dedication. My phone buzzed, snapping me back to reality. It was Jessica, her voice a mix of curiosity and nerves. "Alex, we're on our way. Mom and Dad they're trying to process everything. Are you sure about this?" "Absolutely, Jess," I replied, confidence mingling with the underlying anxiety. It's time they see everything, the work, the success, the real me. The phone call ended, and I took a deep breath, steeling myself for what was to come. As my family's cars pulled up, I felt a wave of emotions, nervousness, excitement, and a hint of vindication. This was it. They stepped out, their expressions a blend of awe and bewilderment as they took in the sleek architecture and high-tech surroundings. My parents, typically composed, looked slightly overwhelmed. Daniel and Jessica exchanged glances, their skepticism palpable. "Welcome to the Carter Retreat," I announced, trying to keep my voice steady. "This is where I've been channeling my efforts for the past few years." My father, ever the skeptic, folded his arms. "Impressive, Alex. But what exactly is all this?" I led them inside, the automated doors gliding open to reveal a spacious lobby filled with interactive screens and AI demonstrations. "This is where innovation meets opportunity," I explained. "Carter AI isn't just a company, it's a movement. We're redefining what technology can do." Their reactions varied. My mother's eyes widened with intrigue, while Daniel's analytical mind seemed to be racing to catch up. Jessica appeared thoughtful, absorbing the implications of it all. We moved through the facility, each room revealing another aspect of my work. In the AI lab, I demonstrated our latest projects, showcasing the groundbreaking applications we were developing. The tension in the air was palpable, each revelation met with a mixture of disbelief and admiration. As we reached the final presentation room, I paused, facing my family. "I know this is a lot to take in," I said, my voice carrying the weight of years spent in the shadows. "But I wanted you to see what I've built, the vision I've been working towards." My father nodded slowly, a flicker of respect crossing his features. "You've done well, Alex. I underestimated you." Those words, simple as they were, meant more than I could express. They were an acknowledgement of my journey, a validation of the path I had chosen. The day continued with conversations and explorations, my family gradually warming to the new understanding of who I had become. The tech retreat, once a secret, was now a shared experience, a bridge connecting the old perceptions to the new reality. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the retreat, I felt a sense of closure. The deception had ended, replaced by a newfound honesty and acceptance. My family had seen the truth, and in doing so had taken the first steps toward a deeper connection. The reunion had been more than just a revelation. It had been a transformation. As I stood with my family, looking out over the horizon, I knew that the future was bright, filled with possibilities and the promise of continued success, both personally and professionally. The atmosphere in the tech retreat shifted as the day unfolded, the initial shock giving way to curiosity and a newfound respect. My family, who had known me only as the dreamer with impractical ambitions, were now beginning to see the depth of my achievements. It was a revelation not just for them, but for me as well, a chance to share the world I had created away from their expectations. We settled into a sleek conference room, the walls lined with interactive displays showcasing the milestones of Carter AI. My parents, Jessica and Daniel, sat around the table, their expressions a blend of anticipation and introspection. "Alex," my mother began, her voice softer than I had heard in years, "all this time, you've been doing something incredible. I wish we'd known sooner." I smiled, appreciating her words. "I needed to do it on my own, Mom. I wanted you to see that this path, while unconventional, is just as valid." Jessica leaned forward, her eyes filled with a mix of admiration and curiosity. "So, what's next? I mean, now that we know, how do you see us for this?" I considered her question, the possibilities exciting and daunting at once. "This isn't just about me," I replied. "It's about changing perceptions, about showing that success doesn't have to follow a set path. I want you all to be part of this journey, to see the potential of what we can achieve together." My father, who had been quiet for most of the day, finally spoke up, his tone contemplative. "I have to admit, Alex, I was wrong. I didn't see the potential in what you were doing. But now, seeing all this, I'm proud of you." Those words, simple yet profound, resonated deeply. They represented a shift in our relationship, a recognition of my accomplishments and the validity of my vision. The conversation turned to the future, to the role my family could play in the expanding universe of Carter AI. Daniel, with his analytical mind, saw opportunities in integrating AI with healthcare, while Jessica, ever the strategist, discussed potential legal frameworks for AI ethics. As we brainstormed, the room buzzed with ideas and possibilities, the initial tension replaced by a collaborative spirit. It was a turning point, a chance to redefine our family dynamic based on mutual respect and understanding. Later, as we took a break on the terrace overlooking the retreat's lush grounds, I felt a sense of peace washing over me. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the landscape, and for the first time, I felt truly connected to my family. Jessica joined me, her expression thoughtful. "You know, Alex, I always envied your courage. You went after what you wanted, even when it seemed impossible." I turned to her, surprised by the confession. "Really? I always thought you had it all figured out." She laughed softly. "Not quite. We're all just trying to find our way, I guess. But seeing what you've done, it's inspiring." Her words meant more than she knew. They were a reminder that even in our differences, there was room for admiration and support. As the day drew to a close, I knew that this reunion had been more than just a revelation of success. It had been an opportunity to reconnect, to build bridges that had long been neglected. My family, once skeptical of my choices, were now eager to be part of the journey forward. The path ahead was bright, filled with opportunities for collaboration and growth. As we prepared to leave the retreat, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and belonging. My family and I were on this journey together, ready to embrace the future and the limitless possibilities it held. This reunion had been a turning point, a celebration not just of what I had achieved, but of what we could achieve together. It was a reminder that sometimes the greatest success comes not from proving others wrong, but from finding a way to bring them along for the ride. As the sun set behind the tech retreat, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, a newfound sense of calm settled over me. The day had been a whirlwind of revelations and emotions, and for the first time in years, I felt a profound connection with my family. We gathered in the retreat's luxurious dining hall for dinner, the atmosphere relaxed and filled with laughter. The table was laden with an array of dishes, each more exquisite than the last, a testament to the retreat's commitment to excellence. My father raised his glass, a rare smile playing on his lips. "To Alex," he announced, his voice carrying a mix of pride and warmth. "You've shown us the value of vision and perseverance. Here's to your success and the journey ahead." The toast was met with clinking glasses and a chorus of agreement. As I looked around the table, at my family's faces illuminated by the soft candlelight, I realized how much had changed in just one day. The barriers that had once divided us were crumbling, replaced by a genuine desire to understand and support one another. As the meal progressed, the conversation flowed easily, touching on everything from the latest AI innovations to plans for future collaborations. Jessica, ever the strategist, was already brainstorming ways to integrate AI ethics into her legal practice, while Daniel spoke passionately about the potential for AI in healthcare. "Alex, have you thought about expanding Carter AI into education?" Daniel asked, his eyes alight with possibility. "Imagine what we could do by making this technology accessible to students." I nodded, the idea exciting and full of potential. "Absolutely. Education is a key area I want to explore. Empowering the next generation with the tools they need to innovate is crucial." My mother, who had been listening quietly, chimed in, her voice thoughtful. "I can't believe how much you've accomplished, Alex. I'm sorry for not seeing it sooner. We were so focused on what we thought was best, we didn't see what you were building." Her words, filled with sincerity, touched me deeply. "It's okay, Mom," I replied, feeling the weight of past misunderstandings lifting. "I know you wanted what was best. I just needed to find my own way." As the evening wore on, the conversations grew more personal. each of us sharing stories and memories that had shaped our journeys. It was a bonding experience unlike any we'd had before, a chance to reconnect and redefine our relationships. After dinner, we moved to the retreat's lounge, where a cozy fire crackled in the hearth. The warmth of the flames mirrored the warmth in my heart, a feeling of contentment settling over me. Jessica turned to me, her expression earnest. Alex, thank you for today, for showing us what you've been working on and for including us in your world. It means a lot. I smiled, grateful for her words. I wanted you all to see the whole picture, to understand why I chose this path. It's not just about the technology or the success. It's about making a difference, about creating something meaningful. My father, who had been watching the fire, spoke up, his voice steady. You've done that, Alex. You've made us proud. And I think I speak for everyone when I say we're excited to be part of this journey moving forward. The sentiment was echoed by nods and smiles, a collective acknowledgement of our shared future. The evening continued with stories and laughter, the joy of newfound understanding infusing the room. As I sat there, surrounded by my family, I realized how much this day had transformed us all. The reunion had been more than just a revelation of my success. It had been a chance to heal old wounds and forge new connections. The night drew to a close, and as we prepared to leave the retreat, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. The path ahead was bright, filled with opportunities for collaboration and growth. My family, once skeptical of my choices, were now eager to walk this path alongside me. This reunion had been a turning point, a celebration of what we had achieved together and a promise of what was yet to come. It was a reminder that sometimes the greatest success is found not in proving others wrong, but in bringing them along for the journey. The story of Alex Carter's journey from hidden success to familial acceptance highlights the importance of staying true to one's passion despite external pressures. In today's fast-paced world, this narrative serves as a reminder to embrace your unique path, even when it diverges from traditional expectations. The key takeaway is to believe in your vision by trusting your instincts and pursuing your goals with determination, as innovation often requires venturing into the unknown. Additionally, communicating openly with those around you can bridge gaps and foster understanding, transforming skeptics into supporters. Finally, redefining success is crucial. Recognizing that achievements in non-traditional fields are equally valid and impactful allows you to appreciate the diverse expressions of success. By applying these principles, you can navigate your own path with confidence, creating a life that reflects your true aspirations and values.